and welcome to Entry Level 1 English Week 4. I hope you're all well. I hope everybody's had a good week, and thank you for all those that have sent me work. Welcome to another week. So how are you? I hope you're well. I'm fine, thank you. And I've had a good week. Same as usual, busy working and homeschooling and all of the things that we usually do. So this week, week 4, we have a few things to do. We are going to review some of the work that we've done over the last few weeks. So we're going to look back at the present simple tense, positives and negatives. We've got your spelling test, obviously. And then also moving forward for this week, we've got your new spellings, and we're going to look at the present simple tense with questions. Okay, so that's what we've got planned for this week. So just going to start with a little reminder, just checking that we're okay with the pronunciation of these vowels and this consonant, because these are always the tricky ones, aren't they? The ones that we get muddled when we're spelling something. So I just want to go through these. So we've got A, E, I, and Y. A, E, I, Y. A, E, I, Y. Okay, so just those ones that most of you are pretty okay with everything now, but sometimes those ones we get muddled. And just keep saying the alphabet yourself, keep practicing that pronunciation, making sure you get all the letters in the right place, okay? Okay, so we're going to do our spelling test now, so hopefully you've got pen and paper ready to write down your spellings, okay? Let me just pause. Okay, so this week's spellings are the days of the week, aren't they? Remember, they are the days of the week, so we've only got the 7 that I'm going to give you today. So we'll start with number 1, Monday. Monday. Number 2, Tuesday. Tuesday. Number 3, Wednesday. Wednesday. Number 4, Thursday. Thursday. Number 5, Friday. Friday. Number 6, Saturday. Saturday. And number 7, Sunday. Sunday. Okay, hopefully you've done all right. Let's check how you did. Okay, so let's have a quick go through and see how you did. Now remember, days of the week all have a capital letter, don't they? So don't forget your capital letter, your uppercase letter at the beginning, because days of the week always have an uppercase letter. So we've got Monday, M-O-N-D-A-Y, Monday. Tuesday, T-U-E-S-D-A-Y. Wednesday, W-E-D-N-E-S-D-A-Y. Thursday, T-H-U-R-S-D-A-Y. Number 5, Friday, F-R-I-D-A-Y. Number 6, Saturday, S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. And number 7, Sunday, S-U-N-D-A-Y. So how did you do? How many did you get out of 7? Let me know what you got. How many? Did you get all of them? 7 out of 7? I hope so. That would be good, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm just going to pause and get the next bit up on the board. Okay, so today we are going to review. So go back over to review, to revise what we did the last few weeks. So we're going to review the present simple tense for routines and habits. Okay, remember we use it for routines and habits, things that we regularly do. I go to the gym on Mondays. For facts that are true now, I live in Wilton. It's true now. For facts that are always true, London is the capital city of England. Timetable events for the future, so the train leaves at 3 p.m. And we're going to look at positive and negative sentences. So we're just going to do a really quick review of these things because every week we need to do a little bit so that it stays up here. Okay, so we're just going to go through some of these things and you're going to do some practice writing some sentences quickly. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write me 4 sentences about you and your partner's or your friends' habits or routines. For example, I go to the gym every morning. My boyfriend plays football on Saturdays. Okay, so these are routines, habits, things that we do every morning, every night, every day, every Saturday, every Monday, every summer, every year, every week. Okay, routines and habits. So, or usually, or often, or sometimes, I want you to write 4 sentences about you and about one other person. So, maybe 2 about you and 2 about your husband, or your daughter, or your son, or your boyfriend, or your wife, or your colleague, or your friend. Okay, so 4 sentences. So I want you to do that now. Write those down, and then you're going to send them to me as part of, so that I can check them as well. Okay, so write those down now. Okay, once you've written those 4 sentences, I want you to write another 4 sentences. Okay, so I want you to talk about things that are true now. So I want you to write 4 sentences about you and your friends, or you and your husband's, or you and your daughter's life. Okay, so for example, I live in Wilton. Full stop. My boyfriend works in Portsmouth. And don't forget, he, she, or it. We add that S in the present simple, don't we? So don't forget that, really important. So I want you to write 4 sentences, maybe 2 for you and 2 for your boyfriend, your husband, your friend, your daughter, your son, about things that are true now, facts that are true now, where you live, where you work, how you feel, or what you do. Okay, things that are true now. All right, so 4 sentences. Okay, once you've written those sentences, I want you to write 4 more for me, and okay? These 4, I want them to be facts that are always true. So I want you to write 4 facts. For example, London is the capital city of England. So London, it, a place, it is. I am, you are, it is. London is the capital city of England. Cats have a tail. Cats with an S, so they, plural, have, they have, he has, I have, you have, they have a tail. Okay, cats have a tail. So 4 facts I want you to write now. 4 facts, things that are always true, things that, are just truth, facts. Okay, I want you to write 4 of those. Okay, and then when you've done that, I want you to write 4 sentences that are timetabled events. So 4 sentences about events that are in a timetable. So remember things that are maybe when a train, to do with trains, buses, aeroplanes, boats, ferries, or lessons in a school. So for example, the train arrives at 5 p.m. The train arrives, so we add an S. My English lesson starts, so English lesson is like it is a thing. So starts, we add an S. And at, with time, at 10 p.m, at 5 p.m, at 10 a.m. So 4 sentences with timetabled events, please. Okay, so get all of those written up for me. So you should have 4, 8, 12, 16 sentences. 16 sentences. So we've got 4 in the first one, 8, 12, 16. Okay? Okay, so the last bit is I want you to write 8 negative sentences. 8 negative sentences. So I want you to think about things that are not true or that you and your friend don't like or don't do. So, for example, I don't like chocolate. My son doesn't eat fruit. Very naughty boy he is. London isn't the capital city of France. It is not. London's not. London isn't the capital city of France. So I don't like, my son doesn't eat. Remember, with doesn't, this verb goes back to the base form of the verb, no S, you see. My son eats, we add an S, positive. My son eats, negative. My son doesn't eat. Okay, we take the S off again because we put it in here. London isn't, with be, with the verb be, we add not to the is. London is not, and then we can shorten it to isn't or London's not. London isn't the capital city of France. So I want you to write 4 sentences, okay, of things that are not true or that you and your friend don't like or don't do. Okay, a selection, so we're using don't, doesn't, isn't or aren't. Okay? Right, so all together, that's another 8 sentences, so 24 sentences altogether. Okay, you should have 24 sentences to send me of everything that I've just given on the board. Okay? Okay, great. So that's a little review of the last few weeks, okay, to keep practicing that. Now we're going to look ahead for next week and for this week. So first of all, we're going to look at your spelling list for week 5. So the words you need to learn for week 5. So I've got some from this week on there because these ones are difficult and people get them wrong. So I've put number 1, Tuesday, number 2, Wednesday, and number 3, Thursday, because those are the ones most people get wrong, okay? So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's your first 3 spellings to make sure you've got them right for next week. So if you got them wrong this week, make sure you learn them for next week and get them right next week. Right, and now we've got some other words here. These are commonly confused words, okay? So people get them wrong because like these ones are what we call homophones because they sound the same. These ones sound slightly different, but these ones sound the same, but they're spelt differently and they have different meanings. So I want you to learn which ones you use and when, okay? So we're going to go through these and I want you to learn them for next week. And when I give you a sentence, you have to choose which spelling is correct. So we've got off and of. So there's a slight difference in sound. Off, of. I don't know whether you can hear that, but off and of. Slight difference in sound, very little. Off and of. Off and of. Okay, so off is like to turn off the light. Please turn off the light. So off is off and on. Okay, off. So we turn off the light. We switch off the light. We switch off the plugs. You know, the plugs down there. Yeah, sorry, hang on, let me show you. Plug. So we switch. That's a little switch. Off and on. Off and on. So this off, O-double-F, is that type of off. Also, we use it for get off the bus, get off the train, get off the plane, get off the table, get off the bed. So to sort of get off of something, or to turn off, we use it for those. So, Okay, and that's O-double-F. So you've got on and off. It's the opposite of on. So you can get on the bus, you can get off the bus. You can get on the bed, you can get off the bed. You can turn on the lights, you can turn off the lights. So this off is the opposite of on, yeah? Opposite. And then we've got of. Opposite of on. So this one with one F, of, is a preposition that we use to join our sentences together to make sense. So it means of something. Something of something. So the opposite of on. Of something. So today is the, I don't know what day it is actually, the 3rd of February. Of. It's the 3rd of February. Of something. It's not the opposite of on. It doesn't mean to get off or to turn off. It's just, we're saying this belongs to this. It's of something. Oh, I haven't got any room here. No, hang on, that's not good. Of. Where else do we use it? This is the best of all the films, the best of something, okay, of something. Often it's quite difficult to decide whether you use double F, but double F, remember, it's for the opposite of on. It's to turn something off or to get something, to get off of something. And of will be used otherwise with one F. Okay, so of something. So we've got off and of. Off and of, okay? O-double-F, to turn off, to get off, to switch off. And of, the best of, the opposite of, the third of, okay? So of something. So that's off and of. Then we've got no and no. So they sound exactly the same, no and no, no and no. But this one, we can't hear the K or the W. We don't hear it. We don't hear K or W. We just hear no, no. But they have different meanings. No is obviously the opposite of yes. Okay? Can I go to my friend's house? No. Can I have that piece of cake? No. Okay, so the opposite of yes, no, N-O. But no, K-N-O-W, is from the word knowledge. To know something, knowledge. Okay, so know is from the word knowledge. So, do you know my brother? Do you know him? Do you know of him? Do you have knowledge of him? Have you met him before? Have you seen him? Do you know him? Do you know how to speak English? Do you know how to speak English? Do you have knowledge? Do you have the skills to speak English? Do you have the knowledge, the skills to speak English? Okay, so know comes from knowledge, and it's spelled K-N-O-W. And no, N-O is the opposite of yes. Okay? So, no and no. They sound exactly the same, they are spelt differently, and they have different meanings. This is called a homophone. Okay, what have we got next? Two and two. Two and two. So T-O-O and T-O. T-O is a preposition. I am going to work now. I am going to the shops. I'm going to the gym. And two is, it means also, extra, in addition. Okay, so let's give you an example. I like chocolate too. It is too expensive. Okay, so T-O-O means, in this I like chocolate too, it means as well as you. I also, it means like also. I also like chocolate. And here it is too expensive. It is extra, like more expensive, like too much. Yeah, it's too much. It's more and more and more, so it's too expensive. I like chocolate too, so it can mean also, in addition. I like chocolate too, I like chocolate also. You like chocolate? I like chocolate too. In addition, as well as you. Or it is too expensive means like extra, more, too expensive. It is too big, it is too hot, it is too cold. Okay, so T-O-O is this extra or in addition or also. But T-O, to, we use when we're going to somewhere. So I'm going to work. She has to go to school. She has to go to school. So to is a preposition that we use to join our words together, and we often use it for we often use it for place, like when we're going somewhere. I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the swimming pool, I'm going to school. We often use it for that, but also we use it like she has to, she needs to, has to, needs to, we use it with that as well. So we use it in certain situations. So that's T-O. This one here, T-O-O, slightly different meaning, but sounds the same. Okay? Sounds the same. So this one we often use when we're going to somewhere, to the bus, to the train, to school, to lessons. And this one to mean as well, or also, or extra, more. Okay? Okay, and then our last one's here, there, and there. So they all sound the same, don't they? There, and there. But they all have different meanings and they're all spelt differently, obviously, as you can see. So we've got there, T-H-E-I-R, there. And we've got there, T-H-E-R-E. And we've got there, T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. So this last one here, there, with the apostrophe R-E, means they are. which we've looked at in the present simple tense, because that's the verb to be, isn't it? So they are students. And it's the shortened form, the contraction of they are there. Okay, so that one's quite easy and to remember how to spell it because it's the contraction. So they are is there. So they're students, they're teachers, they're doctors, they're nurses. They're hungry, they're late. We've got there, T-H-E-R-E, that means place. So that is in reference to place. So my house is over there. The TV is over there. Why don't you meet me over there? Or there, next to the park. Yeah? So that means place, as in my. Place or position. It is there. Where is my car? It's over there. Where is my bag? It's there. So it means position or place. T-H-E-R-E. We use it for positions or places. There, T-H-E-I-R, that is a possessive adjective. Okay, it's a possessive adjective and it's about possession. So it is their cat. The cat belongs to them. Okay, it's theirs, it's their cat, it belongs to them, it's about possession. So the cat belongs to them. Okay, so it's about possession, their cat. It is their cat. That is their house. It belongs to them. They own it, they possess it. Okay, so this is a possessive adjective, there. This is about place, over there, or position. And this is the contraction of they are. So that's what I need you to learn for next week. Okay, so I want you to learn all of those for next week. Oh, we're going over a bit of a slide, haven't we, here? I don't know what's happened. Let me just put that straight again. Is that better? Definitely gone on a bit of a sort of slide there. Let's just tighten that back up. Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, off, no, to, there. Alright, so I want you to learn those for next week. Make sure you understand the difference, because next week I'm going to give you some sentences and you will have to choose which one you're spelling. Are you spelling this one? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, which one? Okay, so you need to understand the context that they're in, the sentences that are in. If you want to practice making sentences with these, then you can send them to me. So you can make some sentences with these in them and you can send them to me to make sure you're getting it right, to make sure that you understand. Okay, so you can make some sentences with these words in here so that I can mark them and check them so that you understand you're getting them right. Okay? Right, that's all our spellings for this week. Okay, so today's objectives. What we're going to cover today. Questions in the present simple. So we're going to look at making questions in the present simple tense with WH words and do or does. And yes/no questions with do and does. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. So when we're using the present simple tense, when we make questions, we use do or does. Okay, so we're going to have a little look at that today. I'm going to put some examples on the board. Okay, so let's have a look at these examples on the board. Let's start with what we call our WH questions. Our WH questions. These are questions that require a fuller answer. They're not yes or no answers. They require more of an answer, okay? So, we've got where, what time is a common one as well, so I've added that in. Who, when, why, and how. I know that's not WH, but we include it in the WH. So how. And how often goes with how long, how much, So yeah, often how goes with how much and how long, not just how. So we've got where, what time, who, when, why, how, and then we have other hows. So how much, how long, how often, how many children do you have, for example. So we do have quite a lot of hows. Right, with making the present simple tense into a question, we use the verb do or does. Okay, so where do you live? I live in Wilton. So we add the verb do. So we have WH plus do plus our subject plus the verb. Okay, so we've got WH question plus do or does, depending on our subject, plus the subject, so I, you, he, she, it, etc., plus our verb, and that's in the base form. And then a question mark. So that's how we make a WH question. We've got our WH question, do or does, our subject, I, you, he, she, it, they, we, plus our verb that we're using in the base form. So, where do you live? I live in Wilton. What does she do? Now notice here, we add es because she, but this stays in the base form. She is a teacher, okay? What time do you leave work? I leave work at 5 o'clock. Okay, so what time do, subject you, base form of the verb leave. Who do you work with? So who, WH plus do or does, plus the subject, so obviously with you it's do, I or you do, he, she, it does. Base form of the verb, work with. Who do you work with? I work with Damon and Tom. When does he start work? So look, we've got our WH work, we've got does here because he, she, it, does. Start, base form, no S on there. He starts, but when does he start? So when does he start work? He starts work at 5 a.m. Okay, he starts work at 5 a.m. Now I've asterisked this and this because what time and when are similar. What time do you or when do you are quite similar. Why do you play badminton? So do plus the subject you plus the base form of the verb badminton. Because it keeps me fit or because I enjoy it. How does she cook paella? So WH plus does because she, and then base form of the verb cook, paella. She cooks paella with rice and prawns and chicken. How much does it cost? How much does it cost? It costs £20. How long do you want to park for? I want to park for 2 hours. Okay, so you can see here how we form these questions in the present simple with do or does. So WH plus do or does plus the subject plus the verb in the base form, and that's really important because I've been telling you when we make positive sentences we add an S, don't we, for he, she, it. He starts work, and we do for a positive sentence. He starts work. But when it's a question or a negative statement, we remove that S, don't we? He doesn't start work. When does he start work? We remove it because we've put it into the do here. Okay? So, where do you live? I live in... What does she do? She is. We don't say she does a teacher. That's very wrong. She is a teacher. It's a strange expression. What time do you leave work? I leave work at. Who do you work with? I work with. When does he start work? He starts work at. Why do you play badminton? I play badminton because. How does she cook? She cooks. We have the S back on there in the positive statement. Paella. Okay, etc., etc. So that's how we make WH questions with the present simple. We add do or does. Okay? Okay, and then we have yes-no questions with do and does in the present simple. So yes-no questions are just where we answer yes or no, basically. Okay, just where we answer yes or no. Now let me just pause a minute. I'm being interrupted by... Okay, so yes-no questions where we answer yes or no. We don't need any, we just want a yes or no answer. So it's exactly the same structure as the WH questions, but we don't have the WH in front. So it starts with do or does, then the subject, and then the verb in its base form. So do you play football? Yes, I do. Does she like chocolate? No, she doesn't. Do they eat meat? Yes, they do. Does he work at Sainsbury's? Yes, he does. And do you want to go for a walk? No, I don't. So again, do or does plus the subject, I, you, he, she, they, it, we, etc. Plus the verb in the base form, play, like, eat, work, want, and rest of the sentence. And then we answer yes or no. So yes, I do. No, I don't. No, she doesn't. Yes, she does. Okay? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. No, I don't. Yes, I do. All right? So, those are our present simple questions with do or does. I'm going to send you some practice of those. So I'm going to send you some work to practice them. So for your homework, you have got 24 sentences to write about present simple positives and negatives, haven't you? So you've got 24 sentences to write. You then have your spellings to learn for next week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then off and of and to and no and there and there. So you've got those to learn for next week, and you can write sentences with off and of and to and no and there and there in them and send them to me as well. So that's more sentences. So that's off, to, no, there. That's another 9 sentences to write with those words in to send to me. And then you're going to have some practice of questions, making questions in the present simple with do and does. Okay, so you're going to get lots to do, as usual. So good luck. Study, practice. And I will have a video call with you very soon to see how you're doing. So have a great week. Remember, your work must be returned within 7 days. So, yeah, good luck, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.